in Calcutta, 1972, we were on a morning walk, and Srila Prabhupada was walking, and there were a lot of brahmacharis, and some of the brahmacharis were complaining about the fact that at the temple at 3 Albert Road in Calcutta at that time, we were all living in that building. And they were saying, Srila Prabhupada, you know, the women, you know, sometimes we pass them, they don't put their saris over their head, and why can't they get a place outside, you know, separate from the brahmacharis? And, you know, it's not really conducive for our brahmachari life. And these comments, these questions were going on. Prabhupada did not answer. He was silent the entire walk. And he'd stop sometimes, you know, and you know, the cane would stop and he'd stop, but he'd keep walking. He never responded to the requests. And then we came up these stairs of 3 Albert Road, and the door was closed, and someone opened the door, and there was Jamuna and Palika and Shamsundar's wife, Malati, and Kaushalya, and Madri, and the others who had stayed behind to wash the floor, to cook for the deities, to bathe the deities, to dress the deities, to prepare Srila Prabhupada's Vyasasana, and prepare the cushions for the guests that would come. And the women immediately just like hit the floor and said, Jai Srila Prabhupada, and paid their obeisances, and Prabhupada turned around to all of us and said, yes, but if you associate with these women, you'll go back to Godhead. So when I told Shrutakirti last night that story, he brought my attention to this page in My Glorious Master by Burijan Prabhu. And so I'll just read it. It's page 250. It's called Women, Widows, and Success. Shrutakirti then rubbed mustard oil onto Prabhupada's back. I moved to face Prabhupada's front and was enjoying the sweet atmosphere that surrounded him. With his eyes closed, Prabhupada spoke. My godbrothers criticize me that I have allowed women to live in our temples. This is not done in India. Only brahmacharis can live, but I have become successful because I have made this adjustment. Prabhupada opened his eyes and continued, although they criticize me, their Gaudiya mas are empty. The only time they have people coming is during Gaur Purnima to Mayapur for parikram. And who is coming to parikram? Widows, women in white. Because I have made this adjustment, I was successful. Shrutakirti then moved to massage Srila Prabhupada's side, asked, Prabhupada, how can we tell the difference between making an adjustment and changing a principle? Prabhupada's eyes closed and Shrutakirti continued to massage. After a few moments, Srila Prabhupada opened his eyes and said, that takes a little intelligence. When I was in India, I always loved kirtan from the very beginning, and I was leading a kirtan in front of the deities. It was in Calcutta, and I didn't really have a, you know, Srila Prabhupada, in the beginning he referred to me, he knew, my wife at that time was Kaushalya, and he knew Kaushalya very well because he had met her in Hawaii sometime before, and he told her and others that she reminded him of his niece. She had a darker complexion, and so when he first Prabhupada got to kind of know me on a physical way, he said, that husband of Kaushalya, bring him here. So that happened one day after the kirtan. One of, I don't know if it was Shrutakirti or one of Prabhupada's servants came and said, Prabhupada wants to see you. So I went in and Srila Prabhupada said, that was a very nice kirtan. And I said, oh, thank you. And he said, but it is not Gadadhara, it is Gadadhara. So sometimes I cringe when I hear it. Even today I hear it so many times. Devotees are saying, Gadadhara, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda. And I remember Prabhupada saying that to me. And you know, if you look at the Sanskrit, I think it's Gadadhara. And but I was obviously moved by Srila Prabhupada's generous compliment.
Je anilo premadana koruna prachu